And now, Dave Nichols breaks down the July issue of Born to Ride magazine on Boss Hogg Radio.
Let's back up just a little bit. It starts with a good cover. So we have dynamic images for the cover. Like you said, nice motorcycle, patriotic theme, and a nice cover model, Heaven Fields. And so it sets the tone, wouldn't you say, for the issue itself?
Absolutely it does, because it's all about riding motorcycles, and it's all about, the whole lifestyle. This is a lifestyle magazine. It's not just about the nuts and bolts of a bike. It's all about why we do what we do, and that's why there are so many different new columns and articles that people are going to start seeing appear in Born to Ride that really opens up the magazine. Nobody does the South better than Born to Ride. You guys have Florida, Georgia, North and South Carolina. You've got Alabama, Tennessee, right? You guys are all over the place. And that's the vast majority of motorcycle riders that are registered motorcycle riders in this country. It's a big, important part of America. And so what we're doing now is we're just expanding that. We're just having the same exact care and attention and love, really, that we put into Born to Ride. We're going to slowly start expanding that out to other places and to other riders, because it's all one big family, Some of the things that you'll notice right away in this current issue is we're starting biker legends. So what that means, folks, is it's not just someone who's in their 80s and you think, oh, gee, they're a biker legend. They've been doing this their whole life. To prove to you that anyone really can fit in that category, our first biker legend in this issue is Jody Perowitz, and she is young and gorgeous and amazing and is the fastest woman on two wheels. Her dad's Dave Perowitz, the father of Flames. And so our first biker legend is Jody, and she talks about some of the interesting things that she's doing and all the racing that she does and all of the different, she holds so many different records. It is just amazing for someone who's as young as she is. And then in the next issue, just to show you a dichotomy, we got Pete Hill, who is one of the long-term racers in this country that everyone loves and respects. Pete Hill.
Top
and so
Hill.
it can be anybody and everybody, It's like that's part of it, is biker legends. And then we're also talking about doing a new thing called Biker History that kind of tells people why we ride and where we're from and how this all came to be, this crazy ride that we're all on together. So
let's go back to the biker legends, because to have Jody as our first one. I mean, it's a woman, so we're diversifying. It's not just about the dudes, the men. It was a great choice because she's so dynamic, people. I mean, that's what this is about. The dynamics of this woman who happens to be a biker, a rider. Yeah, her dad's Dave Perowitz, but she's on her own, man. We interviewed her on the Cannonball run, and that's a big run that they do. But she's a racer. I mean, she's got a lot of credibility in the industry, too, doesn't she, Dave?
She does. She's a spokesperson for Indian motorcycles now. She's in the Cannonball, as you mentioned. She's in the Sons of Speed races that Billy Lane puts on every year at Daytona. And she tells a great story in this issue about a near miss that she had in, I think, 2018 is when that happened. And, she does her own wrenching. She can paint. She's amazing. And so she's a great all-around, loves motorcycles, loves the lifestyle, and couldn't be a nicer person to be our first biker legend.
Yeah. And it's also inspiring. It's not just, they were a good person, R.I.P., God bless. No, she's a live, living legend, and that's important too, that people know that. So you have a good article, good content, and then there's imagery, let alone a great layout, but you have to have images, and we're honored again that we brought in another specialist through you, Dave, that you made a call to somebody named Michael Lichter. I mean,
Yeah.
a legendary photographer in motorcycling lifestyle, probably one of the greatest photographers around.
He really is. He's been working with me at Easy Riders for many, many years, and anytime we would shoot a major event, Sturgis, Daytona, Laconia, Mike Lichter, it was his photography that brought that to life, as well as shoot, I can't tell you how many hundreds of motorcycles he's shot for Easy Riders magazine when I was at the helm of that publication. So Mike is on board with us. You're going to be seeing a lot more of his work in the future, and that's not a small thing. You know, he would go all day, all night, shooting a big event like Sturgis or Daytona. Come into the house that we'd be staying at, 2 in the morning, and get right back up again at 6 and go out there and do it all over again all week. That's Mike Lichter.
Yeah, it's great to be around people like that, and that's what you're bringing to the table, Dave. Is connections of people and relationships. It's so important. How important has relationships been to you? Hold that thought. How important has relationships been to you to get to where you're at? And that's a life lesson, not just motorcycles. So we want to hear some success theories from Dave Nichols when we return.